a boy put a mobile phone in his grandpa's coffin.
One night, he called that phone and started complaining to his grandfather about the violence he had experienced at school. Unexpectedly, not only did he receive a text message reply from his grandpa, but the next day, the school bully died in a tragic accident. These successive bizarre events made him shudder with fear. The boy was certain that the school bully's death wasn't an accident. In order to prevent something even more terrifying from happening, he changed his mobile phone and phone number. Then, he used the new phone to call his grandpa again, but he couldn't get through. He let out a sigh of relief and put the phone away. He decided to let go of the thoughts about his grandpa and hoped that they, on either side of the world of the living and the dead, wouldn't bother each other. Not long after, the boy went to university and gradually left all those strange events behind. However, one day, his father suddenly called and told him that his high school homeroom teacher had been killed in a car accident. Apparently, it was a drunk driver who caused the tragedy. But the driver had power and influence, and he bribed the police and the judge, and was acquitted. The boy was filled with sadness and anger. In high school, everyone had ostracized him, and only the homeroom teacher had been kind to him. So, the boy was determined to avenge his homeroom teacher and make the criminal pay for what he had done. Since it was difficult to convict the criminal because of his family's power and influence through normal channels, the boy decided to use a special method. He took out his old mobile phone, called his grandpa, and firmly said that he hoped the perpetrator would go to hell. After hanging up the phone, the boy regretted his words. Moreover, he wondered how a dead grandpa could really have such power. What had happened before might have just been a coincidence. But to his surprise, the next day, the boy learned that the perpetrator was dead. To make sure that this wasn't another coincidence, he went to the perpetrator's house and asked the housekeeper about the cause of death. The butler said that the perpetrator had died of poisoning after swallowing soap, and the brand of the soap was the one that the boy's homeroom teacher had liked. There was a suicide note on the table, and it only had a few words written on it. Just because you're so beautiful. The boy was shocked because this was a line from the song that his grandfather had loved before he died. Finally, the boy was sure that all those strange text messages and the deaths were all somehow related to his grandfather, and he realized that he had indirectly become a murderer, having caused the deaths of 2 people. On that day, he received another text message from his grandfather. Although his grandpa had always been willing to help him, the message advised him to stop and not let the evil continue. After much thought, the boy finally decided to throw away his mobile phone and cut off all contact with his grandfather. Although the phone held many memories of his time with his grandpa, he understood that once the evil desire was awakened, it could become uncontrollable. But he wondered if losing the phone would really stop the evil thoughts in his heart. He didn't know. Was it really his grandpa's ghost helping the boy take revenge, a supernatural phenomenon? Or was it the boy's second personality that had killed the people he hated and then imagined the text messages with his grandfather, relying on their emotional bond to support that abnormal state of mind?